Well, Richard Bacon is the MP for South Norfolk. He was one of 9 MPs who called for the resignation of the former head of Children's Services. He's at Westminster now. Were the MPs right to get involved in this?
Well, I think so. In the circumstances, many of us have been concerned for quite some time about the performance of children's services and what was essentially a failure of leadership and management. And based on complaints from constituents and elsewhere, it became quite apparent that change was needed at the top. I mean, it's important to say that, first of all, the job that social services does and children's services does in looking after vulnerable children and those who've been taken away because their parents can't look after them at all is one of the most difficult parts of the public service at all. This is difficult work, and that's all the more reason why people should expect that it's done to a very high standard. And although I haven't had the opportunity to meet Sheila Locke, the new director, yet, I very much like the cut of her jib, and in her statement today she recognised the scale of the problem, and I think that's the first step towards doing something about the problem and beginning to address it.
Don't you need somebody who's in place full-time rather than yet another person who is interim?
Well, what we need right now is effective leadership and effective management, and that can be delivered by an interim. She comes with quite a good track record of doing this elsewhere in the country, and although it's true that the job is very difficult, there are other parts of the country that succeed better than we do at the moment, so there is room for improvement. And what I liked about her statement was that she recognised the very clear need to identify the basics and make sure that people understand what it is that needs doing and who's responsible for it, and then to make sure that everyone plays their part in achieving that. As she said in your statement, in your clip earlier, she expects to do that with support. And certainly, speaking for myself and I'm sure other Norfolk colleagues, we'll be doing all we can to make sure that she gets the support she needs in turning this department around, because it's of the first importance for local parents and residents and local children.
Just very quickly, if it isn't turned around by the next Ofsted inspection, will you say that they need to shake up the whole thing and change everything?
Well, I'm not going to start speculating about something in the future because none of us can predict the future. I want to see this succeed. I think Sheila Locke has identified the scale of the problem and is prepared to grip it, and that's exactly what's required, and I'm reasonably optimistic that with the right leadership and the right management, leadership basically being about identifying who needs to do things and inspiring people to make sure they understand what's required, and then management making sure that it's all actually done and delivered, I'm confident that she can succeed.
Mr. Bacon, thank you very much.